Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. So my buddy Perry from Wawrinka'S hooked me up with this, the Vcore 95D. And he said, you know, this is what Stan really plays with. I'm like, oh, let me try it then. Stay tuned. Sky, great playing today, man.
Thanks. Good hitting.
Oh, thank you.
My arm doesn't feel right.
Uh-oh. Interesting. I got something. Hang on.
See? I don't feel a thing. Wow. My arm doesn't feel a thing. Feels great.
See? I told you.
All right, Harry. One more shot. I'm going to go real big. This is great. Yeah.
All right, so my buddy Perry knows all things Yonex. He has Vcore 95D for dents, and he's like, this is really what Stan Wawrinka uses, and he's continued to use this mold to this day. So I am actually a little surprised, but not completely. 95 square inch head, 16 by 20 string pattern. There is a lot of heft in this racket. Like, this is like a serious racket. We're talking like RF kind of weight here for what I'm toting. And the smaller head makes total sense. The beam looks to be about a 22, 23-ish. Yeah, wow. I'm just admiring it. Yeah, you can feel it too. It's pretty heavy. So I took some specs from that particular racket. The weight is 354. So that pretty much dead giveaway that, you know, he could use it. Balance 315. That backhand goes pretty fast, right? So that helps, right? Slightly lighter. Now the swing weight, right? It plows. So 335 on that. It helps him plow that backhand. 95 on that head, 1620, slightly denser string pattern. But if you look at these squares, though, they are actually perfectly spaced. How they're spread like this, even on a 1620 pattern. Of course, the signature Yonex isometrical shape. But what I'm feeling is that heft. I love this heft when you get this going, but it's gonna come through quick because it's pretty head light for being 315 on that balance. I'm getting some Stan vibes. I want to hit some one-handed backhands and just kind of let it wail. All right, let's take it on the court and see if we can put our Stan on. See you on the court. All right, Coach Chris and I just got off the court. Vcore 95D. So as I said, this is my buddy Perry's racket, and he is a big Yonex fan. Coach Chris, you supposedly just played with Stan's model of racket. They just paint it to look like whatever they want you to buy.
Okay.
What'd you think of it?
If this is Wawrinka'S racket all spec'd up, it's pretty heavy. Dang, like I can see how you have to have really strong forearms to hold this thing. Another racket that kind of comes to mind that's pretty similar to this heft is probably the Pro Staff. So, you know, both Fed and Wawrinka both play with heavy rackets, and I think it's good. Once you find the sweet spot and once you start hitting it in the middle, it's a good racket to play with. You really have to time it well. So this is not made for sort of the beginner level type player. This is for someone who's played for a while and competes and who's got good technique. I feel like out of probably all the heavier rackets I've tried, like Rafa's, Fed's, and now Wawrinka's, I feel like this one's one of my favorites because I think Yonex did a really good job with this mold. And, you know, for how heavy it is, when you make a contact, it actually feels really nice. Yep. So it's really good and plush feeling. So for someone who wants to try a spec'd out racket,
you could still buy this somewhere.
You could probably still, yeah.
Online in the secondary market.
I feel like you can, definitely get these still. I'm pretty sure they float around here, but I do remember Wawrinka playing with these for sure back in the early 2000s. So it's a nice racket.
So you even tried to, so I told you Wawrinka, and this guy tries to go haul off and hit a bunch of one-handers.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen before.
It's crazy.
Look funny.
It's crazy.
And then when I got it, I tried to haul off and go for way too much.
Yeah, it was spraying everywhere.
I was like, phew,
oh my
phew.
God.
Frame here, frame there. I caught a bunch of forehands though. Like when we first started going, I was like hitting lasers like right down the middle. And I was like,
and then you got tired.
Hello. Yeah, I got tired of like pulling it back and just whipping it, pulling it back and just whipping it. Like the pull back was kind of the hard part, and then like kind of just letting it rip. Like there's a lot to do that with. And it's I mean, this is like the third racket we've tried today, and I feel like if it was the first racket, I'd have a little more energy for it. But I absolutely love this. I absolutely love this. If I had one of these and I was like 20 years younger, I'd definitely get something like this. You would play with something like this now, wouldn't you? Maybe just a smidge lighter, just a smidge, or you
Maybe.
can, or
well,
just
this
as
reminds
is.
me of like again the Pro Staff. So like. What was it? Not the K Factor, but it was like Fed had a heavy racket back then too, in the early 2000s. What was the line again? Not K Factor. It was
Pro Staff.
Enco? Not was it Enco?
No, it was the first iteration of the Pro Staff was the 97 and the red one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the red one.
That one.
Yeah.
That color scheme reminds me of that.
With a feel. Yeah, and everything. Yep. This absolute. You know what this reminds me of? I used to play with an RD Tour in the 90 square inch head. This kind of gives me those vibes. You catch it just right, and it just like rockets off the racket. Yeah. So it's there is heft though. There is definitely heft. Great feel. I know why Stan still uses this now, and I know why we might still use this too. So I gotta go searching for one of these when I go searching. Yeah. Coach Chris, thank you for trying that with me.
Yep.
Where can I find you?
You can find me at CB Chen Tennis.
And
that's
it. Yeah, I'm still admiring. Perry, thank you so much for hooking it up. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.